How's it going, folks? I am the Eggman, and this is my review of the HP Pavilion -7102EA, which is quite a mouthful, as the actor said to the Bishop, but then again I suppose that's a different story. So what I'm going to do is go around the side of the machine first and show you the different ports that are available, and then we'll have a look at the screen and keyboard, and then move on to the software and take it from there. So first of all, on the left hand side we have the VGA connector here for your monitor connection. Then we have a HDMI port here, RJ45 here, which has this little closing piece on it, which I'm not mad about. I think it's a bit flimsy, it's quite hard to close as well. Then you have a USB 2.0, USB 3.0, microphone in and headphones in. Then on the other side, a little bit more difficult to see, we have two USB 3.0 ports and the power cord at the end. Then just underneath the power cord then is your CD, DVD, Blu-ray drive, and it's also a Blu-ray burner. I haven't actually tested out that function on this machine yet. I have a Blu-ray on my old machine as well, and I've never used it either, so possibly an extra if you're not going to watch movies and stuff on the screen. Then there's probably no point in getting that, but I think it actually comes in this model, so it's going to be what you're paying for. And this is the screen and keyboard on this. So first of all, the screen, it's a 17.3 inch measured diagonally screen, HD with bright view, 1600 by 900 pixels, and this is where the first of my problems comes. This is not a particularly good screen. It's not high definition, and when you look at the screen from an angle, a viewing angle that's kind of off center, the screen starts to pixelate and turn black. So if you're going to be watching this with 2 or 3 friends sitting around to watch a movie on it, I would not recommend this screen for you. Even looking at it face on, it's not the best screen in the world that I've ever seen. I have a full HD screen on this HP TouchSmart here, and it's 100 times better. The clarity is amazing compared to this one, so that was one of the letdowns that I found on this machine. Keyboard wise, as you can see, it's an island style keyboard with those chiclet keys, and then separately then you have a numeric keypad on the right hand side. Also down here you've got the touchpad, and that's got a function that can enable to turn off and turn on the touchpad, as you can probably hear there. I never use it, it's just something that's there. Now I think what's also supposed to be on this model is there's a light supposed to shine around the perimeter of this touchpad. I've never seen it coming on mine, and someone said press function and spacebar, but as you can see that does absolutely nothing for my machine, so I'm not 100% sure that light is supposed to be there. It was in the original reviews that I read, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Now I did ring Hewlett Packard, got through after a lot of fucking waiting and grief, and they said send it back and maybe there's a wire loose inside, so I think potentially it is actually supposed to have that light around it. In terms of the finish and stuff like that, it's kind of like a grainy finish. It's not actually so bad on fingerprints and that. I've had this for 2 months now, and have to say I maybe cleaned it once or twice on that part of it, so I can't complain about that side of it. Aesthetically, it's probably not the best looking machine in the world. I would have much preferred this maybe to be silver. Around here would have just made it look a bit better. Maybe the light on it would have made it look a bit better as well. On the back of it, on the top of it then, you have this finish again. It's like a matte, it's probably hard to see it on that, but it's like a matte, almost like grainy finish, and you have your HP logo there, which is lit up on the back. You see it lighting up there now, which is probably a nice touch, probably stolen from Apple, but still it shows that they tried to make a bit of an effort when they were actually putting this machine together. So that brings us to the fingerprint reader that's on the front of the machine then, so I'll go into that in 1 second. Okay, this is the fingerprint reader that comes up on your screen when you go to log in. You can also log in there through other credentials and just put in your password as you would normally. But this is actually one of the features that I find quite good on this machine. The fingerprint reader here, so once you open up the machine and set it up, you assign a finger to the fingerprint reader, and it works quite good. It works nearly all the time. It's only if you put your finger maybe too fast across it, or put your finger at a slightly different angle or something like that, that it won't let you in. And someone had said to me that anyone could use their fingerprint to actually get into your machine, but that's not true. I've tried it with 2 or 3 people, and none of them were actually able to log in. So that is quite a secure feature, and quite a handy feature as well. So I'm going to go through the kind of specifications that's on this machine, and then I'll talk about them as I come to them. So this is Intel i5 3210M processor, so 2.5 gigahertz processor with turbo boost up to 3.2. And the way I understand it is that if some of your applications need greater performance, then it can kick in and apply more performance and turbo boost the processor to use that performance better. Not a very technical explanation. If you want to read about it, go and have a look at it, and you'll be reading about hyper threading and different things. But it's the third generation Ivy Bridge processor, which is probably the best one at the moment. So quite a good processor. The i5, the i7 would have been nice, but again, you're talking probably another couple of £100 on top of it for this. It comes with 6 for about €50, so not too inexpensive an upgrade to go to 16 gigabytes. I think if you're using applications maybe like PowerPoint and Word and graphics things, then the RAM would come in handy. I think for everyday use it's just complete overkill to go for 16 gigabytes, but if you wanted you can put it in there. Also on this you have the function to add a solid state drive. So that's going to reduce your startup times, your close down times, and also if you're reading and writing CDs and stuff like that, it writes in a faster way. I keep getting an error on the bottom of my screen that says SATA hard drive port 0 detected, and I think it's to do with the solid state drive not being there, but obviously it's not there, it didn't come with the machine, so I don't know why I'm getting an error about it. The graphics card in this machine is an NVIDIA GeForce GT630M, which has got 1GB DDR3 dedicated RAM. Now the gamers out there would probably say, well, that's not enough for gaming, and maybe it's not. I don't use this as a gaming machine, it's just an everyday machine. The hard drive in it is a 1TB SATA hard drive with 5400 RPMs, so it's not the fastest out there. 7200 is common enough now, but this has got the 5400 one with 24 gig partition for system memory. That's just to, if your machine crashes, that you'll be able to restore it from that point. It's got the Blu-ray player R and RW with Super Multi DVD or RW double layer drive, so I think that allows you to put more onto a DVD, but again, don't quote me on that because I haven't checked it out exactly. The LAN, the local area network card, is an integrated 10-100-1000 gigabyte Ethernet LAN. The wireless connectivity is an Intel 802.11b GNN with WiDi Bluetooth and Bluetooth. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those. WiDi is the ability to have an adapter on your TV, an adapter and a built-in one on this laptop that you can just stream wirelessly to your TV without any wires. So that's a nice idea. I haven't checked it out. I have used the HDMI port to put it on the TV, and that looks really good on this. So somewhere down the line I might look at doing that. Bluetooth for me is dead on a laptop. I never use it. I don't know what it's there for. Maybe some people get used to it, but so the function is there. But the wireless connectivity, this is a big gripe of mine on this machine. This machine has been losing wireless connection for basically the 2.5 months that I've had it. It has an Intel Centrino N2230, I think it is, wireless card. And even when I heard the word Centrino, I was thinking, is that the name they gave the processors about 10 years ago? The wireless card on this is brutal. It really is bad. Now it's stabilised over the last few days, and I've downloaded a couple of different things for it. But even to get those downloads, they don't come up and say that you need these downloads. You actually have to go to the Intel site and let it do a scan of your machine, analyse it and say what updates are available. So really disappointed with the wireless card. Even here on this machine, sometimes it's on 4 bars. Of course it's on 5 now when I wouldn't want it to be. Maybe, I don't know if you can see that. Whereas this one here, this machine over here is on 5 bars all the time. So I'm really disappointed in that. Although, as I say, in the last 4 or 5 days that seems to have stabilised a bit. I don't seem to be losing the connection as much as I used to. Then obviously Beats Audio. Beats Audio was a big selling point for me on this machine. It's just a cool thing to have. You think you'd like to check it out. You'd probably like a Beats headset as well, I suppose. So Beats Audio was quite a nice function to have on this machine, and I'll show you the sound on the Beats Audio with and without Beats Audio on. So if I just put this on here. So this is without the Beats Audio. And now switch on the audio. So you can see that it just changes the sound quite dramatically, so it's a nice function to have. I don't know if it's more of a software function or not, but obviously you do have the 4 speakers on this underneath, and you have a sub bass woofer at the back as well. So maybe that's something, if you're interested in music and stuff, that might be a selling point on this machine for you. It definitely gives a good sound. It's probably the best sound I've actually ever heard out of a laptop. It'll never be as good as having external speakers on it, but still, it is probably the best sound I've heard out of a laptop, so that is quite a good point on this machine. So it does sound well with the Beats audio. There's also a multi-format digital media reader, and that's actually down here at the front. I didn't even know that was here for a while until I checked it out. I don't know how good you can see that. Maybe it's a bit difficult to see. Maybe I'll lift it up and you can see it a bit better. Yeah, it's actually concealed underneath. That's how far down it is. So that's quite hard to see. If you're using multi-formats, little memory cards and stuff like that, it'll take a multiple range of those. So that's kind of it, folks. Just a couple of things that I wanted to go through before I finish off. There's not too much bloatware installed in this machine. You get a 60-day version of Norton, which is handy, and you get rah music. I don't use that or subscribe to it, so I took that off. There you get a Norton, I think, 60-day trial as well, or not Norton, sorry, Microsoft Office 60-day trial as well, student and home trial. Again, not really any good, I suppose. You need to buy the full version if that's something that you're going to be using on a regular basis. There's a couple of things that are handy on it. It has CoolSense technology, so that when you have it sitting on your lap, so that it doesn't heat up too much. And then it also gives you instructions as well about cleaning the fans and stuff like that. So that's probably a good idea, because it's the heat internally that causes the most damage to laptops and PCs. So that's quite a good function to have. Might give you a bit of a longevity in the life of your laptop. The other thing it has is HP Smart something, I think, Drop Smart. I'm not sure which one is it called. It's called Protect Smart. Sorry for that. And basically, if you drop your laptop, it realizes that it's been dropped in a split second that it's been dropped, and it locks your hard drive in place, theoretically, so that you don't damage the contents of your hard drive. Now, your laptop might be smashed all over the ground, but your hard drive will be okay. So I suppose that's some sort of consolation. So that's it, folks. That's my review of the HP Pavilion DV7 7102EA. All around, quite a nice machine. Not everything I would have hoped for. As I said, aesthetically, I would have liked maybe a bit better looking machine. The software function that for ages and ages and ages, it just downloads all the time. The drivers and stuff for the Centrino wireless connection, as I said, I had to go to the Intel site myself and download all those drivers for it. So there's good and bads. The Beats audio is nice on this machine. The Fingerprint Reader is a nice touch as well. That's really handy. You get used to it. If you want, you can assign other fingers to Facebook and YouTube and things like that. So if you just want, you could put the other finger in and then bring that site up automatically. I wouldn't find it any faster, because it's just handy to go into Google Chrome is what I use, and go into that site, go into those sites directly. So that's it, folks. I don't know if this has been helpful or not. It's my honest, unbiased review of this machine. So if you've got any questions or comments, let me know. I'm sure there's things that I've probably forgotten. Thanks for listening.